The Fox and the Wolf. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a very pretty little fox. She had had a rather difficult upbringing, as food was scarce and life was hard. As a young cub, she vowed to herself that she would make life better for her and her family, and not get distracted by silly things like romance. For what good would that serve them if there was no food to eat? What's more, she didn't think she would ever fall in love in any case, as she often appeared standoffish and cold to others, even though she didn't mean to be. While she was a bit stubborn and strong-willed, she did feel very strongly about the ones who were close to her, and would do anything she can to be there for them and make their lives better. She soon realized part of her dream too, as she was appointed to represent their skulk among the various other fox groups, something she was very proud of. So she went through the motions of her day-to-day life, until, one day, she happened upon a handsome wolf who was a fair share older than her. This didn't deter them though, and in fact brought them closer, for the fox brought her youthfulness and energy, while the wolf brought his wisdom and experience. But he wasn't like any of the other wolves or foxes she had met. No, there was something very different about him. He had a very heavy heart and had faced much difficulty in his life as well. He was also very strong, which scared her at first, yet he had a gentleness about him that made her fear soon melt away. He was quite cheerful too, and tried his best to keep a positive demeanor despite his hardships. He also had a lot of experience and knowledge of the world, something he gladly shared with her. And so the two of them soon fell in love. Now, the fox skulk didn't particularly like wolves, and the situation had been made worse by a northern pack that had been causing trouble in the region. So the wolf stayed away, and the little fox started visiting him instead. At first, they met in a nearby forest, as the little fox was wary of his intentions, understandably, of course. The wolf was patient with her, though, and tried his best to make her feel comfortable. She was also really nervous, so much so that she hadn't even noticed that she had injured her little paw. But the wolf did, and collected leaves and herbs which he used as a remedy. Thus they met more and more frequently, and soon the little fox was comfortable visiting the wolf at his den. She loved going there, as it had become her escape from life and all the dramas it brought. It became a place where she could be free, she could be herself, and could live without a care in the world, for she knew that a wolf would protect her and care for her. She loved lying on him and snuggling in his dense warm fur, something he loved too, though he never admitted it, of course. She started dreaming different dreams, as a life with her wolf was all she wanted now. His body now belonged to hers, and hers to him. She wanted to appear strong to the outside world, though she was quite sensitive in truth, and had closed the deepest, most inner feelings off to everyone. But, as time progressed, she allowed herself to feel vulnerable with her wolf, and he loved her ever more for it, as it made her more beautiful in his eyes. She started experiencing hundreds and hundreds of emotions more, like a rainbow of colors flashing through the sky. This also made him feel more protective, since he wanted to nurture her and make sure that those colors never faded away. She had become more complete, whole, and radiant, and it was all because of the wolf, her wolf, for he brought out her inner, hidden beauty. She loved what she had become, and the feelings she felt, and never wanted to go back to how she felt before she met her wolf. He sometimes asked her if she wouldn't be happier with the fox, as he was so different and unlike what she knew. He was afraid he would never be good enough for her or make her happy. But she would comfort him and assure him that she didn't want anyone else. You see, the little fox had asked God if they were meant to be together, and God had told her that it was so. They were soulmates, and they were made for each other, and they both felt it. The little fox was a bit inexperienced with many things, which frustrated her and made her feel as if she was constantly making mistakes, though the wolf didn't mind it, and in fact he appreciated it, as he could teach her things such as how to be more feminine and beautiful, and how to carry oneself better. He also worked on building up her confidence in herself, and though he was shy about his voice, he would sing for her throughout the night under the moon, which she loved so very much. She also took care of him, nurturing him, supporting him, and showing him love, something he truly needed. The more feminine she became, the more he fell for her, and eventually admitted that he loved her, words he had very rarely said to anyone. The wolf never wanted to marry or have kids, though he started thinking of such things now that he had finally met his better half. Thus they spent their nights together, thinking of names they would call their future kids. The two were perfect for each other, and while they had their differences, they never got in the way of how they felt for each other. That was until they had an argument about something rather trivial, which just went too far. You see, the little fox was invited to a local soiree, so the wolf had asked her to groom her fur in a modest manner, explaining that it was for her safety, as he wouldn't be able to be there to protect her from other foxes should something happen. The wolf was also feeling a bit insecure and jealous, since the little fox had become quite beautiful now, and that other male foxes would be ogling her, though he didn't share this with her. The little fox, in turn, felt that she would be perfectly safe among her peers, and so did what she felt was best. She wanted to look pretty for herself and her wolf, though he did not understand it at the time. This soon led to a rather large flare-up between the two, and so the wolf, not feeling heard or understood, walked away. The little fox tried her best to explain, but the wolf wasn't listening to understand, and was instead defensive, as his heart had previously been broken many times and had become very fragile. So he had felt betrayed, and seeing how neither of them wanted to back down or try to understand the other's viewpoint, they stopped communicating completely. But even as time passed, the wolf still loved his little fox and longed for her to be by his side again, to be happy again with her, to make her dance with joy and see her glowing from his love as she once did. They say you never realize what you have until it's gone, and this is true for the wolf as well. He knew that the old had to end, for once a crystal vase is broken, it will never be as strong again, no matter how much you glue it. But he also knew that from the old something new can be built, like a phoenix that dies and is reborn again. But the only hope of that, as rare as it is if the initial cause is remedied first. Therefore, the wolf started working hard on changing himself and becoming more attentive and understanding, opening his heart more, reflecting on his past actions in order to be better and to ensure that something like that doesn't happen again. To ensure the little fox would never feel hurt again, for seeing her like that had hurt him as well. He had broken her heart. He had broken something that was oh so special. He never wanted to do that ever again, as her heart is worth more to him than all the gold or food in the world. He would gladly give up his life to protect it, to hold it just one last time, if she would only see how much it meant to him, if she would only give him a single chance, if she would only open her heart to him. He wanted to do things differently for her and be better for her, but the pain the little fox felt caused her to close off her heart, and so she felt nothing, which is understandable, as she just wanted the pain to be over. Though that also closed off all the wonderful memories of the love she felt and gave to a wolf. And that's a pity, for just as Pandora trapped hope inside her box when she closed it, so the little fox did too when she closed off her heart. But there is a belief that soulmates never truly die. Well, only time will tell.